So how you doing, guys? We are back for another week on our YouTube channel, and we just want to share what's going on in our lives this week and what's been happening. We had a situation this week that was kind of tough for us. We had our dog Bam Bam on, this is kind of hard for me, Wednesday when I was getting ready to go to work. Our dog at the time we thought had a stroke, which was a seizure. So this whole week has been kind of tough because we've had some roller coasters, not knowing exactly what was wrong with him. At first they thought it was something going on with his kidneys, but now they think it's not something as bad as that. Well, we're still trying to find out.
Yeah, actually what they first told us was he was likely in kidney failure and he was probably dying or going to die within the year. So of course that was a pretty bad day.
Yeah.
Pretty bad couple of days.
It was.
And then he really didn't seem very well, so they wanted to see him again. Okay, long story short, turns out he has a UTI and he's 2 years older than we thought he was.
And it was a seizure what he had, so.
He did have a seizure. And they said that sometimes just happens in aged dogs. So, he's had a little, he had a little episode yesterday. Not really a seizure or anything, just where he was walking strange and he was weak, but it only lasted about 15 seconds. And besides that, he's been super hyper and busy, and like you would never know he was an old dog. So we thought he was 13. Let me backtrack to that because that was really crazy. We thought he was 13. We did rescue him. And when we rescued him, he was pretty sick. Yeah. In fact, he was so ugly, and Jose never had a dog before, and he took me to these people's house that had told me about this dog that they had for sale, and
I was like, "Are you sure you want this dog?"
I mean, it really
he looked really bad.
He looked close to death. I mean, we
Yeah.
didn't even know what color he was because this was up in Georgia, and his fur was orange, and it took a whole week of bathing him several times a day, every day, to finally see that he had a nice golden coat under there. But and he was super weak. He was so listless when we first got him. I didn't even question or bargain with the guy. I paid full price, which Jose thought I was really crazy, and I took him right to the vet and found out he was full of worms, and his claws were, his poor feet, his claws were like growing back into themselves, and he was just in bad shape. So anyway, after a few months we actually got him in good shape.
Yeah.
And then he had such a sweet personality, right?
He did. Yeah, he does.
So, well, okay, so here's the thing. They told us that he was like 11 months old, and that he was purebred, and he had, all the right paperwork so that we could...
Which the paperworks were not correct. We found out later.
Well, apparently they were fraudulent. So, and actually, we found this out back then.
Which is okay, because the whole thing that came out of it is that we saved him because he was in a horrible home, and that's what we wanted, to give him a great home. So at the same time that we got Bam Bam, we got our cat, which is actually our son's cat, Mittens. So they're our family. I mean, I'm sure you guys know, the ones who have pets, you get so attached to them. It's so hard when you see them struggle. So
anyway, back at that time, we found a lot of things out about the dog that we named Bam Bam, by the way. That wasn't his name when we got him, but we renamed him, and it fits. It's Bam Bam,
what was it, Percy or something? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bam Bam fits. He's like, from what show is that? What cartoon?
The Flintstones.
Yeah, the Flintstones.
We wanted a
We were gonna have two.
We were gonna have Pebbles, but
he did not cooperate. He didn't like other dogs.
yeah.
Actually, now in his old age, he's much more tolerant of other dogs, but he really did not like other dogs. Well, this week reminded us that we never know how much time we have with our little guy, so we want to make sure that we spoil him every chance we get. So we brought him to one of his favorite places, Baker's Park, and our little Bambino loved it. He totally rules. He was the smallest dog that day at 8 pounds and 4 ounces, but he had the biggest attitude, and he posed for some pictures, which was his favorite part, and then we capped off his day with a little puppuccino. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Make sure that you subscribe, ring that bell,
And comment.
Comment below.
And guys, I've noticed that some of you guys have shared. You've had your friends share the videos as well. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We really do.
It does help.
Thank you for supporting us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.